Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the class of global marketing. So, in our today's class, we are going to discuss about the meaning, the definition, and introduction to global marketing. We are also going to understand the global marketing campaign, how to do a global marketing campaign, and we are going to study about the disadvantages and advantages of the global marketing. So before going into the process, before going into the advantages and disadvantages, we should also understand what is global marketing. So we all are aware that what is marketing. So marketing is nothing but selling of goods and services to the customers to satisfy their needs and wants. So now the same concept is applicable globally, correct? So we have customers globally, and those customers have the needs and wants. So we need to also satisfy the needs and wants of the customers. So that is again with the help of companies entering into the international markets, selling their goods and services, and satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. And global marketing is more than simply selling a product internationally. So now global marketing is not only selling the product internationally, it also includes the whole process of planning, producing, placing, and promoting a company's products in a worldwide market. So now I'm not concentrating on a single market. Now my market is global market. So now I need to plan, I need to produce, and I need to promote the goods and services or promote the company's products in the worldwide market. So now you all might have understood, if it is a domestic market, we can identify the needs and wants of the customers, we can plan and produce accordingly. If it is an international marketing, as we all know, international marketing is again done between two countries or two or more countries, right? So there we try to concentrate only on those two or more countries. But whenever we speak about global marketing, now I'm going to concentrate on all the different countries. That is, my market is now worldwide. So now when you're concentrating worldwide or worldwidely, so now you need to be very much it is very much difficult to plan, it is very much difficult to produce, because you need to satisfy the customers of the worldwide market. So that's why we call it as, it is more than simply selling a product internationally, but you need to produce, plan, and also promote it in the worldwide market. So you need to be very much careful. You need to have a lot of information about the different markets. You need to have a thorough market research. You need to conduct a marketing research. You need to have this necessary important data pertaining to the customers, pertaining to the law, pertaining to the rules and regulations. So you should be very much aware about all these factors. So that is what we call it as global marketing. And large businesses often have offices in the foreign countries. So the large scale businesses or the huge companies, they have branches in different countries, correct? In different foreign countries, they market to. But with the expansion of the internet, but we all are aware that with the expansion of internet, even small companies can reach customers throughout the world. So previously the goods and services were sold physically, but now with the help of internet, we can sell it to any part of the world, right? That is the advantage. So we even call it as again e-commerce, m-commerce. We sell the goods and services with the help of internet, and the small companies can also reach the customers throughout the world with the help of internet. So this is what we call it as global marketing. And global marketing can be defined as marketing on a worldwide scale. That is, in different countries, reconciling or taking commercial advantage of global operational differences, similarities, and opportunities in order to meet the global objectives. So now you need to understand our marketing is on a worldwide scale. So we need to understand the market condition of all the countries, okay? Differences, similarities, opportunities, and also threats so that we can we can achieve the global objectives. And basically, when a firm sells the same product to the global market, then it is known as global marketing. For example, an example would be Samsung Galaxy S series. So Samsung is a company which produces TVs, electronic items, mobiles, and they have produced a S series mobile which is globally marketed and not customized as per the market that is in it is being sold in. So this product is globally sold, and this product is same for all the global consumers. It has not been customized. Multinationals have offices abroad in various countries. They cater to currently, with the expansion of the internet, even small organizations can reach a global audience in a small amount of time and little investment. All you need to have is a very good website, a very good social media page. That might be your YouTube, that might be your Facebook, that might be your LinkedIn, that might be in Twitter. So maintain this social media, right? And digital marketing plays a very vital role so that you can easily reach the global audience in a small amount. So you did not plan to start a company in a foreign market. There is no need to own a physical shop or a physical office, so you can easily sell the goods and services with the help of internet, that is with a little investment. And we all have seen many international companies, correct? Like we can see here Pepsi, Coca-Cola, H&M, right? Donuts. So BMW, Renault, Mercedes-Benz, you name any sector, there are foreign companies which are doing business globally, and they have this global marketing strategies also. So this is what we call it as the global marketing. So now globalization means integrating the economy of a country with the global or world economy. So now you are integrated your country's economy, that is your economy, with the world's economies or with the global economy. How do we integrate? That is nothing but by doing business with all these different countries or different economies. And it means our economy is open to foreign direct investment by providing facilities to foreign companies to invest in different fields of Indian industry and commerce. And MNCs have freedom to import foreign capital. So now we are almost an open economy. For what? To receive the foreign direct investment from the foreign companies. Okay. So, and MNCs have freedom of importing the foreign capital, and Indian companies can enter into foreign collaborations in India and set up joint ventures abroad. So now even our Indian companies are entering into the foreign markets, that is with the foreign collaborations. And MNCs can enter a number of crucial sectors. Imports are liberalized considerably when new economic policy since July 1st, 1991 has introduced globalization in India. So that's what I said to you in many of my classes. In the year 1991, the Indian government has come up with LPG. Correct? So what do you mean by LPG?
Slideshow is not visible, sir.
Slideshow is not visible?
Yes, sir. Not visible.
Now is it visible, sir?
No, yes, now it is. Now it is visible.
Sir, it is first slide of this presentation.
Yeah, yes, Aisha, this first slide was introduction.
Sir, can you just...
This is the first slide.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
This is the second slide.
Okay, sir.
And this is the third slide what we are discussing. Okay?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. Next one is we need to understand about the different definitions given by the renowned authors. According to Warren J. Keegan, globalization is the process of focusing the resources, that is people, money, physical assets, and objectives of an organization on global opportunities and threats. So what is global marketing? Utilizing the or focusing on the resources which are available to the company. Whenever we speak about resources, I always said you physical resources, human resources, financial resources, and other resources which are used in the production process. Okay. And as per Professor M.V. Kulkarni, global marketing involves identifying needs, wants, and demand of global customers and making the products and services available to them through own manufacturing or outsourcing and distributing the products and services at the places convenient for consuming. So that is what we call it as global marketing. See, it is very simple. In local market, what we do, we identify the needs and wants and demands of the local customers. When it comes to global marketing, we are trying to identify the needs, wants, and demands of the global customers. Is it clear, my dear students? Okay. The process of global marketing. So now you all should understand there is a process. So what is that process? So now before entering into the market, first you need to make sure that you need to have certain resources. As we have discussed earlier, the financial resources, the physical, the human resources, the natural and physical resources which are used in promoting the goods and services. So the global firm retains its reach, capability, knowledge and staff, and ensures that its vision is reached to different countries. So with making sure that you have all available resources, now we have reached the different countries. For this, the firm has to conduct an in-depth survey of the target market. It should also have the knowledge about the customers. It should also have the knowledge about the competitors. It should have also the knowledge about the law of land and the policies associated with it. And the major factor would be the religious and communal preferences of the target market also. So you need to have the thorough knowledge about the whole market, right? About its political factors, economical factors, cultural factors, religious factors, right? Technological factors, and also about its competition and competitors. And the firm has to respect them and make necessary adjustments in their products or services while maintaining a homogeneous in offering their offering. So whenever we speak about homogenization in their offering, so it should be again a homogeneous offering to the countries. So you should respect the country's rules and regulations. You should respect about the customer's needs and wants and make the necessary adjustments. And for this, they may have to tie up with the local organizations and also obtain some extra permits and licenses from the local government authorities. The next important thing is the pricing. The pricing of the product may be done country specific, and it needs to invest in research to know their customers, like their likes, dislikes, ethnicity, and other factors which can be impacted or which can be used and which have an impact on the company. And usually global marketing branding is also integrated with global marketing. So now when you started selling your goods and services globally, now the next important duty is to even build your brand globally. So that is what we call it as global marketing branding. At this level, the branding of the product may be changed in order to resonate with the audience. So according to the country wise, what we do is we make some necessary changes. The branding communication, although modified and is kept in sync of the vision of the company. Although according to the country, according to the language, we modify our strategies, but still all the strategies are in sync with the mission and vision of the company, so that at a homogeneous brand loyalty and brand recall is maintained through the customer. So that we are trying to retain the customers, so that we can encourage the customers to convert them into the loyal customers. So these are the meanings. Okay, is it clear, my dear students, in the process?